Hey everyone, Jake here, and a new Game Informer cover story is diving deep on the upcoming Sonic Superstars. So I gave it all a read for you, but if you want to learn more about the game's development, specific levels, and bosses, please check out the links in the description below. Now, let's get to my 11 new takeaways about Sonic Superstars. First, there are of course 7 Chaos Emeralds, each with their own specific power gained after collection. So these emeralds are selected with the right stick and work on cooldowns. Checkpoints can instantly replenish these cooldowns too, so you can use your powers more. These powers are inspired by wisps from Sonic Colors, but they're different in that they're not needed to get through levels. They're supposed to be totally optional and just supplementary in the classic Sonic experience. So what are these different powers? First, we have the Blue Emerald, which gives you the Avatar power, filling the screen with clones of your character, doing a ton of damage and getting you out of sticky situations. Next, there's the Red Emerald, which gives you the Bullet power, which fires your character in a specific direction. So imagine you take a jump, but you want to change your momentum. All of a sudden, you want to go like up and backwards. You jump, you activate the Bullet power, you shoot yourself in that direction, you're good to go. Get yourself some aerial mobility. Our next emerald is the Cyan Emerald, and this power is called Water. It kind of turns the player character into like a watery version of themselves and then lets you interact with water in unique ways. So now all of a sudden, for example, you can swim right up a waterfall. Now, the Green Emerald is called Ivy. It grows a vine that lets your character reach new areas. Super reminiscent of like the kind of vines you see in like a new Super Mario Bros. Game. The Purple Emerald gives you access to a power called Vision, and developer Azuka says this allows you to see the unseeable. So it could be something like a platform or coins that were invisible to you before, and there's actually an indicator that will pop up on the screen to let players know, like, hey, if you use the vision power right now, you'll probably find something, because otherwise, how would you know? The power attributed to the Yellow Emerald is called Slow. Slow, well, slows the entire screen down, meaning you should be able to properly react to enemies or whatever platforming challenge you face. The White Emerald is a power called Extra. Now, whereas every emerald I've said already, the power is the same no matter which character you're using, the White Emerald, the Extra power, unlocks a character-specific ability. So now we've got even more delineations we need to talk about. So Sonic, for example, while the Extra Emerald is activated, Sonic can use the homing attack, which is typically exclusive to modern Sonic. Amy can now throw her hammer to attack enemies from a distance. Knuckles gains the ability to punch. Not much more is said about how useful that will be, but hey, why not? And Tails gets a tornado spin, which seems like a ranged attack that launches a tornado forward towards enemies. It's clear all of these extra skills, at least to my eyes, seem to be concerned primarily with combat. Okay, moving on. Collecting every emerald, of course, gives you the ability to turn into a super version of your character. Now, this is a little different from past games too, because this is also a selectable skill in Sonic Superstars. So once you activate it, each character will turn invincible and become faster with their rings depleting over time. Now, getting away from all of this emerald talk, there are some development insights here that I think people would want to know about. First, I think fans are curious why there isn't another Sonic Mania game or why this isn't Sonic Mania 2, and the developers do say that a game like that, a Sonic Mania 2, was in early talks but was ultimately scrapped. But by the way, they're kind of like talking about that game and talk about this game, it's clear to me that they see Superstars as filling that hole, as plugging that leak. Like, this is their next generation of classic Sonic. But they do say that Sonic Mania's success definitely led to the development of Superstars. It showed them that a 2D Sonic game could still be successful and beloved, that fans still want a classic series game. Now, speaking of old games, the developers do say that Superstars kind of lies in contrast to Sonic the Hedgehog 4, where that game aimed to give players a 2D game with design tenets taken from modern Sonic. This game, Superstars, is like a classic Sonic game first, in physics, in level design, and then it just benefits from the modern era of video game technology that we, of course, live in. Another interesting tidbit is that apparently the game is 3D as opposed to, classic 2D pixel art, because Sega perceives that as a way of getting a bigger audience, of getting it in front of more eyes, and they want the audience for this game to be as big as possible, so 3D art it is. You probably already know this by now, but we should of course mention that this is like the first mainline Sonic game with 4-player co-op, and each character has the innate abilities that you probably expect. Sonic can drop dash, Tails can fly and swim, Knuckles can climb and glide, and Amy can attack with her hammer and double jump. Another new feature here is that Superstars is set on a brand new island, and as such doesn't feature like Green Hill Zone as the first stage. All stages are brand new here. And outside of your typical levels, there are optional character-specific acts. One is called Episode Amy and has her using her hammer to get through a horde of fruit and robots. And another one of these is called Act Sonic, and it has you completing a level while being chased by Fang the Hunter. Now, outside of the levels, you've got a world map that exists on a 2D plane, and it gives you access to a shop. The shop lets you trade medals that you collect while playing for customizations for your head, body, arms, and legs, plus accessories, color, pattern, and something called prototype. No more info is given besides what I just mentioned, but it is something to note that there will be a LEGO collaboration featuring Sonic and Eggman LEGO skins at launch, so maybe that has something to do with Prototype. I don't know, it's a weird name. If you have any ideas, let me know about that in the comments below. And that actually takes us to the end of this wrap-up. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to these details about Sonic Superstars. And again, if you want to read more about the game, explore the links in the description below to check out Game Informer's content. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.